All right, we are back live. This is your Bolo Punch Boxing Hour, brought to you by George Rogie Insurance, www.bolopunchboxinghour.com. Streaming to you live, as always, on Ustream.tv. Emil Soda Pavinsky Kegabine, Timmy the Producer Patterson, of course, all our friend, Nestor Garza Romero on my left, and I'm your host, Chris Guzman. Blah, 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 blah. When it comes to this fight, this was Puerto Rico against Philippines. Yet it had an American twist on it, because both of these fighters are speaking English.
Managed by.
If you go 5 years ago, neither of them knew English.
And don't forget that Bob Arum is their promoter, both of their promoters. So, he probably made close to the same amount of money as both of the fighters.
I wasn't even talking about money. This was like a very international flavor to this,
yeah.
And I love that kind of thing, Olympic type stuff. It was a rather, I really have to say, it seemed like a pro-Cotto crowd in Vegas.
Because the people in the Philippines don't have as much money as the people in Puerto Rico.
Well, the people in the Philippines just got bashed with a monsoon. They're not enjoying life right now. So,
they are enjoying that Pacquiao one.
They're enjoying that
because probably half of the money that he made is going to go to them.
It definitely could. But I mean, all I can say, 12th round TKO. Now let's talk about it. Nestor. The first round absolutely scared me, because I had been shooting my mouth off that Pacquiao had the answer for Cotto, and that very first round was all Cotto. It was, Pacquiao, are you going to throw a punch? Are you going to land a punch? You look scared of him. What is the problem? And Cotto was winning, and it was a solid 10-9 for Cotto.
I thought Cotto took the first and probably the second round too. I thought the second round was a lot closer, but I thought the first round was definitely Cotto's. That wasn't an issue. But I think Pacquiao was more feeling him out as far as what he was going to do or what he was coming in as. I don't think Pacquiao figured that he could hurt him.
Now, you watched it on the HBO telecast. I watched the Top Rank telecast. The Top Rank telecast that I watched had commercials between the rounds, so I didn't get to see what Freddie Roach told him in the corner after the first round. Do you know what he said during that time?
What Cotto was saying?
No, what was told to Manny Pacquiao, the adjustments he needed to make after the first round, because obviously
it was not broadcasted out there, and I'm not sure it was adjustments. It was, you know what, you did exactly what I wanted you to do.
I was very surprised about that too. There was 2 telecasts on this. I thought HBO, and maybe
that's part of this deal. I was unaware that Top Rank had its own broadcast of it.
Yeah, I watched.
That's what you saw.
Rick Charles and
really?
Yeah.
Nick Charles
and.
Are you serious? Yeah. Really? That's crazy. No, I definitely did not. I paid the money.
The HBO telecast that I found online, basically, all of them were too blurry. I didn't want to watch them, so I found when they came in clear, and that was the Top Rank one. But they didn't show the between rounds what was being told to the 2 fighters in the corner until the last couple of rounds when Cotto was so beat up, where I was going, man, every time every round that he takes, that's taking 2 months before he's going to come back and fight again. You know, that's what I was thinking in my head. I mean, the last couple of guys that Pacquiao's fought have had to take a year off, you know, and looked awful, you know, like they should retire in the ring. At least Cotto didn't look that bad.
No. And Cotto's not going to retire either.
No, but the last couple guys that you watch, when Pacquiao got done with him, you're like, oh, yeah, it's time for them to be done.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you looked at Cotto after the fight, you said, whoa, he needs to,
take a year off.
He needs to sell pencils.
Cotto looked as bad after this fight as he did the Margarito fight.
Very strange that you bring that up. My dad said, are we sure that Pacquiao didn't have loaded gloves? I said, yes, we're sure.
They did show that on the telecast. They showed the managers in the locker room watching them wrap the gloves. And
Pacquiao doesn't need that stuff.
Pacquiao doesn't need that.
That's one thing.
Well, they're saying Margarito sat back there rubbing his hands together saying, well, now they'll get off my back. Because Cotto's face can look like that after a legitimate beating.
There's a huge difference between a Manny Pacquiao and a Margarito.
Yes.
Okay, Manny Pacquiao will hit you with 3 times as many punches, with the same power as Margarito, because I don't think there's any power difference between Margarito.
I'll give you that.
Pacquiao. So
And,
when you get hit 3 times as many times as what Margarito hit him, yeah, I would expect him to look that way.
And not only that, you don't see the punches coming.
Yeah, and Mr. Margarito did absolutely nothing to Shane Mosley.
Yeah.
Once they found the quickcrete in his gloves, he didn't scratch Shane Mosley.
Yeah, that is very true.
Okay, so
Shane looked like he was headed to the ring.
right, exactly.
Just like Pacquiao. Well, no, Pacquiao had some scrapes and swelling on the sides.
So as far as I'm concerned, Mr. Margarito can rub his hands all he wants to, because he cheated, he knows it, and he probably cheated against Cotto as well, because I don't think Margarito had it in him to beat Cotto.
Well, the last couple of rounds of this fight, I was watching Cotto going, "Oh, it's about time, they should be stopping it."
That
I'm
fight
thinking,
should have been stopped in the 10th or the 11th round.
yeah, it should have been stopped earlier than when it was, because he had no chance of winning at that point.
Well, it wouldn't matter.
He was so far behind on the card.
I'm with Nestor. Chance of winning will never come into play with a
He
referee.
was getting beat.
If I
His
want to,
cornerman should have stepped up for him. Going,
even no chance to win isn't enough for a corner,
No.
as far as I'm concerned.
It's a matter of defending,
he's just
protecting
yeah,
your
but
fight.
he's just basically taking a beating for no reason. He's
Yes.
still losing the rounds. He's not landing much on Pacquiao. He's just barely surviving. Then he started running.
Do you think Pacquiao could have, seriously hurt Cotto though, or was he simply beating him to the punch and messing his face up?
He was pounding him where he's taking years off the end of his career.
I'm not sure about that. I think Cotto was outclassed.
I think
he was outworked.
Every time you get stopped, you're losing years off the end of your career.
We're talking about Manny Pacquiao. In my eyes, I think he's a better pound for pound fighter than Floyd. We're talking about a guy that started
as of right now.
Exactly.
Sure.
He started at 105 pounds. He's now at 145 pounds, and he's won everywhere. Everybody he's fought at every division he's fought.
There are those naysayers that say, why was he given title shots every time?
And he does have some losses. I mean, he lost.
He has losses early.
Yeah,
and
had losses early.
And to Eric Morales.
Yes.
Right at the start of his prime of his career.
Yep. Yes, he did.
But all I know.
Why is someone given title shot? I'm just playing devil's advocate. I think if
Why
you're
is
that good at
anybody
it,
given-
I
why
think
is anybody giving title shots? Where do you got Vitaly Klitschko walking back after 4 years of not being mayor of Kiev and walking into a title shot?
if you will read the fine print of this contract, it's the champion emeritus.
Whatever.
It's because
And
money
but
makes
I mean,
the world
exactly,
go around.
It's the almighty dollar. So we're all back to that. He's the guy that's going to make me the most money. I'm going to put him in the ring. I'm sorry, sir. You're going to have to wait.
What do you think Chad Dawson's going to do? Chad Dawson throw his belt in the garbage so he can make more money. He don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't. He has Tavoris Cloud. He has, what's the other? There's a couple of young guys that they're looking to fight, and he's not even talking about fighting now.
What I noticed, no one, not Larry Merchant, not Jim Lampley, not Manuel Stewart, not anybody, brought up this diamond belt. No one talked about the WBO super belt, the super duper belt that we were talking about. It never even came up during the HBO broadcast that I watched. Did you hear anything about it?
They did bring up that he was it was for a diamond belt, and I guess it would.
Didn't he just put up the one finger and now he's not even here?
I don't know what he's doing.
All right, go ahead.
But the diamond belt.
I was about to cut him off, and you're not even in the room.
I'm good.
It was for the diamond belt, but it was also, like you said, for a WBO
Yeah.
title. So it's not just for the diamond belt. The diamond belt was something that was kind of thrown
It
in
was
there.
made up.
Yeah,
The WBO Super Duper belt is made up. Let's go ahead and take a break. We'll be right back with all the fights that are going to be coming up this week and the following. This is Bolo Punch.
Stupid fight.
Generation Insurance Family, serving Indiana families for over 80 years. As a member of